It's definitely been a while since I played Blade and Soul. I think the last time I actually recorded a video for it was over a year ago? Man. So naturally, when I was contacted to do a sponsored look at the new Warden class, I jumped at the opportunity. I'd been meaning to record a new Blade and Soul video anyway, so figured, you know what, hey, if I'm gonna get paid to look at the new class, then what better time is there than now? Now, if you hadn't gathered up until this point, this is a sponsored video. I recommend you download the game right now using the link in the description to join the influx of new players. I mean, it's free to play. What do you have to lose? Blade and Soul is a martial arts themed action MMORPG. There are 4 unique races, the Jin, Gon, Lin, and Yun. Each have classes that are specific to each race, totaling 11 classes being comprised of the Blade Master, the Destroyer, Summoner, Force Master, Kung Fu Master, Assassin, Blade Dancer, Warlock, Soul Fighter, Gunslinger, and finally, the newest addition to the game, the Warden, which is what I'm going to be playing as. The character creator is one of, and will likely always be one of the best parts of this game. There are just so many options, and it really gives you a lot of creative freedom over your appearance. I wanted to go for something, I don't know, I guess original? Yeah. So I opted to go for a tall, tan, light-haired, big-breasted man called Mr. STIX, which is essentially a reflection of what I am in real life. Although admittedly he ended up resembling Michael Jackson a little bit. 30 seconds into the game and we're lying there almost dead in the middle of the ocean. This is foreboding. After that comes the tutorial, which I have done at least 100 times before. So instead of going through it again, for those of you that are new to Blade and Soul, just allow me to quickly sum up the basis of the tutorial zone for you. You have a bunch of friends that all die. Yep, that's about it. You know what? I have always wondered exactly what would happen if I were to jump off here. Wait, is that how I ended up in the water? Holy shit, all this time I had no idea. Oh, hey, fancy that. I didn't die. What about here? Oh, okay, well then. Wait, how do I revive? So after the tutorial is where the game actually finally begins. Now, the Warden utilizes an unreasonably large greatsword. I mean, honestly, what use do I have for something that large? And while I'm at it, what kind of upper body strength would I require to actually lift that up? Let's just take a moment here to think about that. Yeah, I have no idea either. But hey, video game logic. Regardless, the Warden, at least for the first 20 levels, is exceptionally powerful. And before I continue, can we all just take a moment to acknowledge that anyone within 3 feet of me while running is likely to just end up either decapitated or impaled? Like, the Warden's playstyle is actually the exact playstyle I look for in games. Run in, lure every single thing you can, then AoE them all dead. Which isn't really to say that AoEing is all that the Warden is actually good at. Quite the contrary, actually. The Warden is quite the efficient solo class, being able to take on mini world bosses like Jiangshi with little effort. Admittedly, my wife misses STIX, and I remain there for a solid half hour farming the outfits and, stuff. Cause her thirst for fashion is insatiable. Especially in games like Blade and Soul and Terra. Oh god. I still suffer PTSD from waiting for her to click through every single new outfit that's being released and try each of them on individually. Here is a general look at how my wife and I ran each dungeon. I would slowly pull monster after monster while she ran after me, then I would finally group them together and do all sorts of flashy flips and explodey slashes while she caught up. Yep, that's how you keep your waifu happy. You take out the trash. Now, let's just take a moment here and talk about the skills and unique mechanics that the Warden class actually brings to Blade and Soul. I'd mentioned that the game hadn't really been all that difficult on the Warden up till this point, and it really hadn't. I was 1 to 2 shotting everything, but I found that I was still somehow in a perpetual state of near death. My wife actually saw me wildly swinging my sword around all nonchalantly because I thought it looked really freaking cool running around doing it, and she brought to my attention the fact that my HP continued to drop as I continued slashing. So like an idiot, I stared at my HP bar and thought for a moment, this was actually a mechanic that I was not aware was in Blade and Soul. So the Warden, a tank by nature, drains their HP as they continue to fight. That didn't really make like a whole lot of sense to me. Like, why would I kill myself to defend my team? I wouldn't be alive long enough to even really protect them. Then I read through some of my skills and realized at the same time I actually had skills that restored my HP. Meaning what I actually needed to do was micromanage my HP through use of both my HP drain and HP leech skills. Now, that was a whole lot of thinking, and admittedly made the combat much more difficult and much more engaging for me, though that is something that I hadn't really witnessed over the first couple of hours on the Warden. So I'd gotten a few in-game outfits over the first 17 levels of the game, and I have got to say, nope. I will be sticking with this for the time being, thanks. Unfortunately though, my wife bought some outfits from the store and she looked, I guess, slightly better than I did. Yeah, that's my wife over there. Upon reaching level 20, we actually unlocked our very first dungeon. Now, the two of us did this in the past, and it was very, very difficult. There were a lot of mechanics you had to be aware of, and we actually died, like, I don't know how many times. We spent probably like around about an hour, maybe more in there. Wiggy and I even had trouble in this dungeon when her and I did it. You can actually go back to our videos and take a look at that. So when we made it to this dungeon, our minds just filled with dread and horror, because we figured it was going to be equally as difficult, if not more difficult, since the Warden is admittedly a new class and therefore very powerful, but she was playing the Force Master, I think, and she hadn't really played that class before, and I was playing the Warden, and I didn't really have any experience on that, and oh man. In the end though, I guess we actually ended up cheesing through it. Thanks to the strength of the Warden, we actually ignored the majority of the dungeon mechanics for the most part. Yes, the Warden class is really that powerful. Ultimately, we ended up stopping just shy of level 30 because we'd run out of time. Although I can attest to the increase in difficulty as you continue to level, things definitely began to require more comboing, more hits, and better gear. The game then becomes markedly more challenging, especially the following dungeons, which I know for a fact had a steep increase in difficulty. Now, the Warden is an immensely fun class to play, perhaps the most fun class outside of the Destroyer for me. The sheer power the class has, the enormous sword you wield like an anime character, the complexity of the class overall. And yes, the class is much more complex upon further inspection. It's not as easy as just left clicking and right clicking, which I know I did a lot of in the video. Overall, I enjoyed playing the Warden. I would love to explore more of the class and any other mechanics that it brings to the game. If you haven't already tried the Warden out, then I at the very least recommend you give it a shot, if even just to experience those new mechanics that I've been talking about personally. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing to my channel over here, checking out another video, or just follow me on Twitter at STIX to chat or hang out.